Rogue from Quivr, pH neutral foam soap. This is from ImJoshV, from the ImJoshV YouTube channel. Okay, he has his own detail shop in Southern California, and he created this soap. It has a lot, I mean, it foams like crazy, but is it really that good? How does it do in the bucket wash? How does it do with 1.1 orifice? How does it do with 1.25, 1.35? How does it work with different foam cannons that I have? And what does it actually feel like if you use it in a wash mitt on the car at the recommended dilution ratio? Let's check it all out. Let's see how this stuff breaks down. Let's get into it. All right, so the first way we're gonna test, we have a dirty car. It's got like dust all over this from driving down the dirt road here, okay? 1.35 orifice foam cannon. This is 1 ounce into 32 ounces with my new Acme Tools pressure washer. This puts out 2 GPM at over 1,000 PSI. Let's see how this works with this soap. All right, we got some great shaving cream foam right here. This is absolutely like ridiculous. Fantastic, it just layers on top. This is ceramic coated, and you could just see like it just stuck to the panel. This is absolutely phenomenal. 1 ounce per foam cannon, 1 ounce and 32 ounces of water, 33 ounces total. You don't need a whole lot with this. All right, guys, before we get too far into this video with the foam cannon testing, I wanted to show you a slow motion on the rinse off, because on the ImJoshV channel, when he announced this soap, he talked about this like surfactant technology where it would have like dual layers, and you could see that in the slow motion like rinse off, because what happens is the foam part rinses very quickly, and then there's like a layer left behind after that is, it doesn't rinse quite as easy, and I really thought that that was going to be a problem with my, like a lower GPM pressure washer, but as I'm going to find out later, my preconceived notions were actually wrong. So stay tuned for the rest of the cannon testing and, well, my testing the rinse off with the other pressure washer. All right, guys, now I have a 1.25 orifice in the foam cannon here, and I have it mixed 64:1, which is a ½ ounce in this foam cannon. I have not tested this out yet. I want to see if I get any foam production out of this pressure washer. Again, 2 GPM, 1,000 PSI, commercial unit. Let's see how this works. It almost looks exactly the same. That's a ½ ounce into 32 ounces. His instructions call for 1 to 4 ounces per foam cannon. We're gonna have to test at 4 ounces. Okay, guys, so in this foam cannon, I still have the 1.35 orifice. I have the 1 ounce per 32 ounces. I'm going to take this off, and we're going to reuse this, okay, because I'm going to use the 1.25, and we're going to do a comparison, okay. I'm going to put the 1.25 with the 64:1 on the front door, and I'm going to use the, okay, I'm going to use the 32:1 on the back door. I want to see what the difference is in the foam, if it really makes that big of a difference. Let's check it out. 1.25, this is 1 ounce per 32 ounces. All right, now we're going to put on our ½ ounce container. There you go, ½ ounce, 1 ounce. There, you could tell there's a difference. This is a little bit, you could tell that this is a much drier foam than this one, but they both go on amazingly well. Even with my 1.25, This is absolutely crazy. This is super high foaming soap. Okay guys, now that I let this sit here for a minute, you could see some of the difference. This is where the 32:1, it's finally breaking. It got heavy enough to where it's pulling down, but there's still a lot of it still stuck there. And then the next one, okay, this is what I did second. It's already running down the panel, okay? However, it is sticking. It's not breaking. This is ceramic coated. Usually some other products sheet down, and this one is just kind of sticking there and moving down. So, in fact, most of the time it'll do like that, but in large chunks. Okay, we're gonna transfer the 32:1 mix into the other bottle that I have. Let's check this out. And in my other bottle, I'm gonna put in the 1/2 ounce mixture that I had, the 64:1. We're gonna do that. Okay guys, so first we're gonna do the 1 ounce in the 32. We're gonna test this with our 1.1 orifice with my Ego pressure washer. This puts out 1 GPM. 1 GPM only, let's check it out. We get some pretty good shaving cream foam, but it is waterier than it was out of the higher pressure, the 2 GPM unit. Using a much bigger orifice size. You can see it's already runny, but let's try the 1:64. Let's see how that works on the back door. Look at this. Shaving cream foam from 1:64 out of my Ego pressure washer. This is absolutely crazy. But now if I have a lower volume pressure washer, let's see how this rinses. Okay, that was 1 GPM out of my Ego pressure washer. That actually rinsed really, really easy. That really surprised me. I did not expect that, considering it has like almost like 2 layers of like, there's one layer that kind of sticks to the panel and then the other layer kind of rinses easy. So for this to just be 1 GPM and be able to rinse that easy, that really, really surprised me. Okay guys, so this is the next test. The Clean by Pan shampoo, okay, at 10:1. This is the recommended dilution ratio for it. This stuff is the easiest rinsing shampoo that I know of, car soap. All right, so what I did is I mixed up, I got 10:1 in this one, 1.35 orifice, and I'm gonna compare it right away with the 1.35 out of the Quivr. The 32:1, so really I'm using only 30% or 33% as much of the Quivr as I am the Clean. I'm gonna foam them both on and then I'm gonna quickly try and rinse, and I wanna see which one can rinse faster. And now the Quivr. Well, let's get them rinsed. Wow, that is pretty darn good, guys. I can honestly say if I run my finger there and if I run my finger here, I don't really feel a difference. It doesn't feel like there's any soap left on the panel. I gotta say that the Quivr really, really surprised me with how easy it is to rinse, even though sometimes you could see that like film being left. This rinsed real easy. Okay guys, it's time for some fun. We have 2 ounces of the Rogue. We have 14 ounces of water, okay? So that's equivalent to 4 ounces per foam cannon, 4 ounces per 32, or 4 ounces plus 28 ounces of water. Okay, let's get this mixed. Okay, we're gonna use the 1.25 orifice foam cannon with this. The equivalent, again, 4 ounces in a foam cannon. Let's see how this works. Let's get to Foam Town. Oh my God. It's like stucco, or like that popcorn ceiling that you see. This is absolutely crazy. Like the thickness of this is crazy. It's sticking to my hand like that, even vertical. Oh my God. All right, let's see how easy the 4 ounce mix. Oh, now we can see how fast it pulls down when you have a lot of it on there. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Rinse is super easy, super clean. Have no problem, even if you put a ton in there, no problem at all. All right, so what I've showed you so far is with those MJJC foam cannons with the 1.35 orifice, the 1.25, and then even the 1.1 orifice. But as you could see, I mean, in this one, I'm just using like a cheap foam cannon. This one actually came with the draft pressure washer. And, you know, I mean, the foam cannons that come with pressure washers are notoriously like not super high quality. But in this case, just 2 ounces, so a little bit more than normal. You know, normally like in a really good foam cannon, you're putting 1 ounce. But in this one, I added a 2nd ounce. So just 2 ounces in that foam cannon. And you could see, I mean, I'm getting really good quality foam, and it doesn't use a ton of product at all. Okay, so I mixed all the Quivr, the Rogue soap, into one foam cannon with that 1.25 orifice. Let's foam this car. Let's get to Foam Town. Let's get going. You can't do a proper car wash unless you do the foam, rinse, foam method. So let's get this rinsed, okay? We'll foam it back on and we'll see how this feels with the bucket wash. Okay guys, 2 foam steps now. I originally filled this up to the very top. There's still 500 ml in there. I believe this is like 1300 ml. So I use close to 800 or 900 ml to do both foam steps. Okay guys, for a bucket wash, we're gonna use 1 ounce, okay, hopefully. Well, the cup is like only half full. 1 ounce in a bucket. We'll rinse this. Now this is the bad part, okay? Literally, it's still sticking to this thing. I could feel it. Like, you have to really, like, you have to go at it, okay? You have to rinse it with your fingers. It's not as bad as another soap that I know of, but this is pretty bad with that. But look at the foam. Tons and tons of foam. It's like orange foam too. And it's like, I can feel it, it's really slick. Okay guys, let me take a break for a second. So I noticed the wash experience is good, okay? It's nice and slick. It's a really nice soap. I put 1 ounce into that 4 gallon mix that I had. And you know, it worked really well. It works well with the foam. But it is not the slickest I have felt on the wash pad. There are other soaps that I have felt that literally the wash pad almost felt like it was going to slip out of my hands. So this is definitely not the slickest. However, it is very slick. And I mean, it's providing an incredible, a really good, I don't know if I could say incredible wash experience. The foam was incredible. The wash experience is above average. Let's put it that way. So anyway, I'm going to keep washing. Okay guys, so in case, you know, what you've seen so far, if you want to pick some of this up on your own, it's at the House of Rags. Use code TOD10 to save you 10%. Use the link in the description below to click on this. TOD10 saves you 10% off of everything. I know discounts don't stack for a while, but anyway, I'm going to get this dried off, and while I do, I'm going to give you my final thoughts. So let's go. All right guys, so the first thing I noticed about the Quivr, it is very thick. You're going to notice that as well. That's one of the things, actually that's the one thing I dislike about it. It's just super thick soap. If you're using a little measuring cup or something, you're gonna find really quick that your measuring cup, you're gonna need to like rinse it out with your finger and everything else. It's just really difficult. However, the foaming capabilities of this stuff is absolutely insane. You're going to notice that, you know, you saw even at 1:64, ½ ounce per foam cannon, the foaming capabilities of this stuff were absolutely wild. That is one awesome thing about it. And, you know, so really the value is there. Now you get 32 ounces for 29 bucks. And at that price, it's kind of expensive. You know, if you put like 1 ounce in the foam cannon, that's $1 worth basically. But, you know, other than that, it's actually a pretty good deal. I put 1 ounce in the bucket, so that would be like $2 worth of stuff. However, if you start, you know, if you buy a gallon is like 75 bucks. Use a discount code, okay? And if you start buying it by the gallon, the cost goes down significantly, buy it on sale. It winds up being like 50 cents an ounce versus $1 an ounce. And that is way more palatable to me. Especially, it figures, I got a snag. You know, at $1 an ounce, I don't like it because there's other stuff that I get that's cheaper per ounce. But at that 50 cents an ounce mark, if you buy the gallon, I think it's a fantastic deal. And I think it's well worth it. It rinses easy. In fact, I was really surprised. It rinsed as well for me as the Clean by Pan using that, actually Giraffe Tools pressure washer that I'm testing out. And it worked really well. It rinsed clean. In fact, in all my testing, when I saw that it had the 2-layer stuff, I noticed that, you know, when you did the work or when you put it on there, it like, you could see that 2-layer system on the car. Or the 2-layer like wash, I guess you could say, or surfactants, whatever it is. You could see that on the car. And I was really worried that that was going to keep it from rinsing, even with my little Ego pressure washer, that it would be difficult and it would cause me not to want to use it with that Ego pressure washer. But at the end of the day, it rinsed super easy even with that Ego. And so I really have to say that I like this soap. If you're not used to a premium quality soap, I think this is going to really shock you at how well this performs. I think you're going to like it. All right, so anyway, guys, until the next one, you know, pick up a bottle of this stuff, test it out. If you know, free shipping on orders over $125. You know, use this to get there if you need to. Code TOD10 again. You know, seeing is believing. Hopefully you saw what I was showing you. It really shocked me. In fact, I originally recorded a different intro to this video called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly about the Quivr, because I assumed, or in my testing anyway, I saw that like 2-layer surfactant and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have trouble washing this or rinsing with that Ego pressure washer. And the opposite was true. It rinsed just as easy as anything else. And I wanted to say, hey, the ugly was like how to, it sticks to the inside of the measuring cup. But really, that's the only downside. So there's just a whole lot of good sides to this stuff. And, I've tested now his foam cannon. I love it. I use it all the time with the Ego, and I used his sealant. I tested that out in a previous video. That stuff worked great. And now the soap, I mean, he just keeps hitting them banger after banger, guys. So anyway, go pick you up some. Until the next video, I will talk to you later. Bye. Oh, and by the way, my opinion. Talk to you later. Bye.